listening to Frey. Starting right now. Here's your host, Alfredo Leon.
Zach Ella, and this is indeed Frey. Before we begin, I want to give a shout out to my boys and girls at the TSW window, such as Tom, Matt, Melissa, Rich, Vanessa, and the other TSW employees, past and present. And let's begin now with the New York Yankees, as they found a replacement for Joe Girardi. The organization will name former Major League infielder Aaron Boone as the 35th manager in team history, which is according to Bill Madden of the New York Daily News. It came down to a choice between Boone and San Francisco Giants bench coach Hensley Mullins, as both left good impressions in their respective interviews. The Yankees also met with Los Angeles Dodgers third base coach Chris Woodward, former Major League manager Eric Wedge, longtime bench coach Rob Thompson, and the recently retired Carlos Beltran. Thompson, however, has been a member of the Yankees organization since 1989, is expected to be named the bench coach of the Philadelphia Phillies. Here is Michael Kay, who is a Yankees broadcaster on the Yes Network and a radio host on the Michael Kay Show on ESPN New York, spoke about the hiring of Boone to Scott Van Pelt on SportsCenter.
I'm thrilled for him, too, because I do know him over the years. I'm doing Sunday Night Baseball, and I did a series with him on the radio. He's just the best guy, as you know. But this is quite an undertaking. It really is, and it's a gamble on the Yankees' part. But if you're going to gamble on somebody, you gamble on somebody like Aaron Boone. He's a great person. He obviously has a baseball lineage, second to none. He's been in clubhouses since he was born, and he gets the game. He gets the analytic part of it. I think he's going to be able to respond and relate to the front office and to the players, and that's what the Yankees are looking for. There's a very analytic-driven team, and the numbers will be there to help him make decisions, but I think his relationship with the players, because his relationship with anybody who's ever worked with him would indicate how good he'll be at that part of the job.
He also spoke about what Boone needs to get right in the start with the Yankees as manager.
I just think the relationship with the players, Scott, I really think so, because although they've never come out and just said it bluntly, I think that was the problem they had with Joe Girardi. They felt that the relationship was not as strong. Joe's a very good man, but he's not as warm as a guy like Aaron Boone, and you knew that the guy that they would hire would be a guy that could relate to today's players and also has a softer touch. You know, the word about Joe is that kind of a clenched fist, and that's the opposite of what Aaron Boone is. He's not a clenched fist. I think that's going to be his most important thing. I don't think there's any worry about how he'll get along with Brian Cashman, since I think Brian has long admired Aaron and have had a good relationship.
Kay mentioned also about how amazing it is for managers that have never done it before, especially on a team like the Yankees.
It's extraordinarily surprising, and because, Scott, this is such a desirable job. I said this today on my radio show, that if all 29 other managers had a chance to choose a team, most of them would jump ship and go to the Yankees. This is a team that's loaded.
Yep.
The team that came within one win of the World Series, going to the World Series, is probably the worst team they're going to have in the next 6 or 7 years. So the Major League Club is outstanding, and the guys that's coming from the minor leagues, I think every manager would want this. And I said this a little earlier on the radio show as well. Aaron Boone's just got his driver's license, and they're tossing him the key to a Lamborghini, so now they expect him to ride it.
Shortly after his retirement in 2010, Boone joined ESPN's Baseball Tonight as an analyst and a color commentator, a position he's done ever since. He has no former coaching or managerial experience at any level. Boone is also extremely recognized for his dramatic walk-off home run off of Boston Red Sox right-hander Tim Wakefield in the 11th inning in Game 7 of the 2003 American League Championship Series to send the Yankees to the World Series that year. What a hiring by the Yankees, as there was a lot of talk about Aaron Boone wanting to be the manager, especially after Girardi has done it, and he said he wanted to be manager while he was still at ESPN. And I guess this doesn't come as much of a surprise since he wanted to do it, but this is definitely a big major risk by the Yankees to do this, especially with Brian Cashman doing it with a guy that's been unproven and has never done it before. It's taking a risk, but it's worth the risk because of how young the team is and a lot of talent they have with Aaron Judge and Gary Sanchez and Greg Bird and all those guys right there, Luis Severino. It's an incredible young team that they have, and it's definitely much of a risk that they're taking Boone into the the thing, especially with the manager, especially since he's never done it before. But it's a good chance, and we'll see what happens if he could take advantage of that chance. But it's a great opportunity for Boone to try to showcase what he's able to do and try to prove that he's not just a good broadcaster and he can actually manage, because he understands the game and he can relate to the players, especially like Michael Kay said, wanting to be more of a player's like coach, unlike Girardi, who was more strict. And that's a plan all along, that they wanted to be more player friendly and a more players coach, as Boone would be, unlike Girardi, who was more strict. And this is a good hire. We'll see what he does, because he's very knowledgeable of the game. He knows like what the Yankees are like. He understands New York. He's done a lot of games for them with Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. We'll see what happens with that. It should be exciting to see what he does, but it's not going to be easy because it's very time consuming, as any manager knows. It could take a lot of time from the family, but it's a great challenge for him because it's not going to be as easy as it was on ESPN. They just coming on TV at certain points and not having to worry about having to go and stay in your office all the time, like managing every day. It's very time consuming, but if anybody could prove themselves, like especially a guy who knows the game and everything like that, and knows under analytics, it would be Aaron Boone, because he's very knowledgeable. And we'll see what happens with his role, and if he could be able to handle it, because it's very time consuming. He's got to deal with the media a lot. Well, he knows how to do that because he played and he worked for ESPN at the time of his hire. So it shouldn't be much of a problem, and it should be exciting and interesting to see what he could do, because new face players could try to get a different perspective of what it's like not having Girardi around. A lot of guys didn't want it, like Della Matanzas. A lot of guys didn't want him to be gone, Girardi that is. But Boone, this is a great challenge, and see if he could deliver the message to the players and do a good job with the manager with the team. We'll see what happens though once the season starts, if he can be able to handle it, especially how the team is, and it should be exciting. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Till next time, guys, peace.